Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over a pretty entertaining email that was sent from a subscriber. This is from a guy, sounds like he's probably late 40s, and he's going to share his story about how when he was younger, when he was finishing up college, maybe in his master's program at around 25, he started dating this gal who, let's just say, was to say she was crazy was putting it mildly. Okay? And definitely learned the hard way what happens when you get into a relationship with crazy. I've always been telling you guys pretty much from day one to don't put your D in crazy, but a lot of guys don't learn, and this is yet another story proving that. And you're going to see, guys, how his relationship starts with her, how he does it for the wrong reasons, gets involved with her, and to no surprise, she's hot body, and of course, the sex is freaking out of this world for him. And all the drama and BS he puts up with. And like I said before, guys, it's not your job to try to save these gals. Don't let the bedroom action, the fun you have there, really mess up everything else in your life. And you're going to see it get so bad that he has to kick her to the curb because she is nuts. But he will have the last laugh, as you're going to see at the end of the story, because let's just say life hasn't been too good to her physically when he runs into her one day, amongst many other things. He's doing well, she's not doing so well. And as the saying goes, men age like Sean Connery, and women age like Sean Connery, and you're going to see right here. But real quick, I got an email from a subscriber, real quick one, thanking me for my work. I just want to read it to show you guys that the stories I do, the emails I go over really do help guys out there, and I'm really grateful for your support, and I'm glad it helps guys out. Real quick here, guy says, hey brother, first off, let me apologize that this isn't some good story or anything like that. I love to share my story sometime and think it's a good one, but there are, let's just say, legal issues and controversial issues within that I really don't want to put out there on the internet. Let's just say I was a totally blue pill nice guy that got horribly burnt due to bad decisions and lies told to me. In 2018, I started watching other content like yours and began my RP journey. I cannot thank you guys enough. I appreciate every video, and as soon as one comes out on it, I'm on it like white on rice. Bro, thank you for your support. I am older than you and maybe the same age. I'm 46. So like you, I have tons of stupid mistakes and blue pill BS. I'm done with all that. I just want to reach out and say thank you. So often, no one gives two shits about us guys, our feelings, and our struggles. It's nice to fit in with those that do care. With all this together, after all, we're all in this together, after all. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. And thanks again, SSM. You're appreciated. Well, bro, I appreciate that email. I'm glad it's really helping you out. And as long as I don't drop dead or get hit by a bus or YouTube doesn't kick me off, I'm going to keep cranking out stories every day. I try to do definitely 2, sometimes 3 videos a day between both channels, so there's a never-ending supply, because let's be honest, there's a never-ending supply of guys out there that have stories, some completely outrageous ones to just very interesting ones to comeback stories and all that, and these things, aside from the entertainment factor, because let's be honest, y'all are here on YouTube for entertainment, but also you learn something, and it also, I know it helps a lot of people out. It could be struggling, and to hear some other guy went through a lot of bullshit, and he was able to get through, not only get through it, but also come out on top. It really, I think, helps guys hold on and get through the struggle of the day-to-day BS that comes our way. So it's great that you guys share your stories, and I thank you and all you guys that watch me every day and support me. Okay, on to the main event. This is the story that, like I said, will once again convince you, keep your D away from crazy. He says, Dear SSM, I have about as much of a chance of winning the lottery as I do you reading my story, but here goes. I hope you find it entertaining, even if your fans don't get to. Well, today's your lucky day because I'm doing your story, so go get some scratch tickets because you may get lucky there too. When I was in college, I had 3 dorm roommates in my 4 years that were there. Only one of them who bathed regularly. Charming, huh? Anyway, it was my sophomore year when I had my second roommate, and yes, Funky Cold Medina. I know what you're talking about, but a lot of people aren't going to know what you're talking about. He said, woo, smell you later. Still, that wasn't half of it. His funky laundry hamper fell over and hid my research paper on the day it was due. I got half credit and had to go above and beyond for a douchebag professor, whom I hated and ordered to get a full credit. Was I pissed off? Thermonuclear pissed, to say the very least. It all came to a head when I saw a picture of a lovely redhead amongst his things. I was certain that I saw her on campus, but no, I couldn't be sure. I asked him if that was his girlfriend, and he said no, it was his ex-girlfriend, and to not even think about it. He said they dated freshman year, and that I should steer clear because she was crazy. He says, yeah, right. So, you can see where this is going already. Because of his dorm mate, not a friend, but just a dorm mate, and his sloppy ways, somehow his big freaking mess and his paper was lost. He couldn't turn it in and it impacted his grades. So he's pretty pissed off about this. Has a beef with this guy. And that's no reason to get involved with a wacko. I saw her on campus a few days later, and she looked even hotter than my roommate's picture. Well, of course she did. Lustrous, curly red hair, full, pouty lips, pale blue eyes, high cheekbones, big knockers, and a butt that was sculpted by an ancient Greek god. Let's not get carried away, brother. This is just a chick. There's plenty of them. I explained that her ex was my roommate, and I saw her picture amongst his things. She scowled when she heard his name, but she took me in. I'm 6'6". I was 6'6", buff, 25 years old, brown hair and eyes, single, and said, wouldn't it drive him absolutely nuts if we dated? Bad idea. One, even though he's not your friend and you're pissed at him, still you're in the same dorm area with this guy. It's just not a good idea. Okay, even though you're pissed at him, want to get revenge, and he told you, by the way, she's nuts. But of course you're thinking, he's just saying that because he doesn't want me to go after her, or, oh, she'll be different with me, or I can just hook up once and that'll be the end of it. That's what a lot of guys think, and then they're hooked. I could hardly believe my luck that a magnificent woman like this would be interested in me. Even if I were just to piss off her ex, I said, it might, but I hope that won't be the only reason. She flashed a grin that almost melted me into my socks and told me to pick her up at 8 o'clock for our first date. And here we go. We slept together after the first date. Shocker. And that's when you should have left. I couldn't believe my luck. Still, I wanted her to do that again, so I took my sweet time and put my best moves into play when we were first together. She wanted me to go faster, but I went at my own pace, so as long to prolong the pleasure as much as possible, in the event that we never slept together again. I'm going to try to keep my description PG, but needless to say, she was very, very, very responsive to my tender way of going about it, if you catch my drift. Yes, bro, we catch your drift. And remember, she's the crazy girl. And not to mention, she's a redhead. I don't know what it is with the fiery redheads. I like redheads. I've had a number of redheads, and they all have this fire to them. Shit, even the ones that dye their hair red pick up the redhead thing. When I finally finished, she clung to me and cried. Snotty, wet, quiet sobs. I asked, was it that bad? She shook her head and gave me the best compliment of my life at the time and said she was never letting go of me. Okay. He says, me. I was thinking with my genitalia and totally ignoring the red flags. She was clingy, prone to migraines and mood swings, but sassy, confident as hell, very good in bed, and I was in heaven. So I'm going to read that part one more time, just so we're all on the same page here. He said here, she was clingy, prone to migraines, mood swings, but sassy, confident as hell, and good in bed. I was in heaven. That's great. She's great in the sack. But guess what? A lot of gals can be great in the sack and not be mental. And you're right here. Mood swings, clingy, and that is just, we're just getting started here. It's not worth it. But okay, you had to learn. He says, oh yes, it pissed off my roommate like you wouldn't believe. I'm sure it did. He said it was against the bro code. I told him that it was BS because we weren't friends, so the bro code didn't apply. He said, fine, whatever, but don't say I didn't warn you about her. Guys, I know I'm coughing a lot here. I apologize. I ran out of Dayquil this morning. My allergies are killing me, but I'm doing my best to get this video done. Otherwise, there'd be no videos today. Well, you aren't buddies, but there is some level of bro code, even if you were roommates here, because you got to live with this guy, and it's just not a good way to go. I know you're pissed at him by the whole term paper thing or research paper thing, but he warned you. My new girlfriend would passive-aggressively greet him every time she came to the dorm room and every time she would compliment him on his hair. He raised an eyebrow at me every time, but I shrugged. More than once, she and I bumped uglies on the top bunk while my roommate tried to sleeping on the bottom bunk. Not cool, dude. But you were young, and you'll learn. My roommate called me sloppy seconds every time he saw me, but I didn't give a damn. I told him I liked his hairdo, just like my girlfriend did every single time she saw him. It made him snarl at me through gritted teeth. Now, he keeps mentioning his hair. And we're going to come back to that at the end of the story here. What's going on, why she keeps complimenting him about his hair. Just wait around for that. This will show you again her true colors. A long story short, we ended up renting an apartment together senior year and for the next 3 years after that. Smack! Yeah, your damn mind. We even got engaged to be married. Smack! Now you're really out of your fucking mind. But it seems that the entire time all we did was fight and hook up. It was in our 3rd year together that she finally explained her unpredictable mood swings. Medicated, garden variety, wait for it guys, bipolar disorder. And when she was off her meds, she was a pissed off natural disaster. On her meds, she was tolerable but clingy and horny as a jackrabbit. So, okay, when she's on her meds, well, she's tolerable. But moody and clingy and all that. But hey, she was horny as a jackrabbit. It all boils down to the SCX. And yeah, she was hot, so that made you like what you saw. It made you look good when you were out with her and all that. But, bro, it's not worth it. I know you know this now, but I'm really hammering this into the young guys. The crazy isn't, don't put your D in crazy. And you're going to see how this impacts his life. There are many times when I considered ending the relationship, but when I was slipping away, she'd reel me back in with her sexual web, and I fell for it every time. She was so beautiful, but I hadn't quite realized that beauty is only temporary. If you're with a crazy beautiful woman, eventually beauty fades and all you're left with is crazy. Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. Beauty will fade, and you're going to see at the end of the story, it most certainly does. Off her meds, she would say the most horrible end of the relationship things to me. I would respond with silence. She wasn't used to that. Her previous boyfriends would hit her or yell back or even worse things. Not me. I'd write what she said on a piece of paper, and every time she asked me to talk to her, I'd show her her own words until she apologized. Why do you put yourself through all this frickin' drama, man? It all came to a head in our 5th and final year together. She went off her medication and said some horrible things and told me that I was being so blanking cruel to her with my silence. She said my silence was like someone that was stabbing her in the heart. Women don't like silence. Women want to fight. They want drama. And when a guy gives her the silent treatment or walks away, it makes them crazy. And if they're crazy, it makes them even more crazy. She asked me, "Do you know what it feels like? Let me show you." And she tried stabbing me in the chest with a kitchen knife, and I said, tried. It's only a matter of time before your life's in danger. I'm a Navy veteran. I studied Shorin-ryu karate extensively in Japan. My reflexes saved me. There was the hard, flat-packing sound of skin on skin as her wrist made contact with my palms. The knife's tip stopping 2 inches from my chest. With that sound, it was like a hypnotist snapping his fingers in front of my eyes. My adrenaline was pumping and my mouth tasted funny. Never again would I allow this to happen. Never. So, after all these years, finally the crazy truly came out and she tried to stab you with a giant kitchen knife. It took that to make you wake up. I mean, good Lord, man. And what in God's name is with the sirens today? She immediately came to the realization of what she almost did, and it was absolutely horrified. She apologized profusely as I took the knife from her hands and slid it back in the kitchen rack. I loomed over her and whispered slowly, "It's over, get out." Sobbing, she continued apologizing, and I held up a hand for silence. She shut up. I told her that out of respect for the relationship we used to have, I was extending to her the courtesy of not calling the police immediately, and having her brought up on attempted offing me charges. Gotta watch my words. I had to repeat myself several times, but eventually she got the message and left. Well, thank the Lord. But remember, you're living with her, so it isn't just so easy. She still has stuff at your place. Now, if you would have done what I tell people all the time, to spend years with a girl before you even think about proposing or marrying her and living with her, then, this wouldn't be as much of an issue here. But I get this is a long time ago, no YouTube back then, no internet. I was in the middle of boxing up her things when I got an angry phone call from her hippie pothead of a mother. Of course her mom is a hippie and a pothead. Of course. She asked me what the hell I was doing to her sweet little angel. She said her daughter was in her childhood room crying her eyes out. She also claimed that she saw the bruises on her daughter's wrists and threatened me with prison things, me going to prison and a lot of bad things happening in prison. I can't say what he wrote here. I told her, before you do that, ask your daughter how she got the bruises. She hung up. She called back a few minutes later, saying that her daughter wouldn't say a word to her. She just kept quietly sobbing and sucking snot. I snarled at her, asked her if she tried to off me, asked her if she tried stabbing me in the chest with a kitchen knife because I gave her the silent treatment in response to her saying cruel things when she's off her meds. Why does she keep going off her meds? Although I have a family member, extended family member, that is bipolar, and I remember that dude, classic bipolar situation, and when that guy would have the truly mental moments is when apparently went off his meds. But a lot of those guys individuals don't like being on their meds and things like that, and I don't need that. Anyway, it says, ask her. After you do that, you can call me back and thank me for the fact that she isn't sitting in a jail cell herself in an orange jumpsuit. I roared that last sentence at her and slammed the phone down to its cradle. She called an hour later, apologizing, taking it all back, and thanking me profusely. Yeah, you did that girl a favor. You had every right to call the police, and she would be in an orange jumpsuit. It just goes to show you, fellows, poison can come in some very pretty bottles. It was a lesson hard learned that I will never, ever forget. And he says, don't stick your you-know-what in crazy. It never ends well. And you're saying this, and I'm saying this. And regardless, somebody's going to watch this and still encounter a hot girl and just tell there's something off about her, but think, that's all right, I'm different, or she's different, or that dumbass in the car with his sunglasses on, he doesn't know what he's talking about, or I'm young and I know everything, or I can hook up with her one time and walk away, and the same thing's going to happen to them. But I'm saying it anyway just to help some of you smart guys that will listen. He says, P.S. I love the P.S. because we know P.S.'s are good. P.S. I saw her a few years later. She was an apartment manager in the exact same town. She was fat, her hair was graying, and she was covered in way more tattoos. She looked longingly at me, reminisced about the times and the ways we did the wicked dance, but I told her that was in the past. I wouldn't even have said a word to her. The second I saw her, I would have bolted. I did ask her, however, why the hell was it that she kept complimenting my ex-roommate on his hair every single time she saw him. She wickedly grinned and said that every time she gave me, a BJ, she spat in his shampoo bottle and shook it up. Mental. So your love juice was in your roommate's shampoo bottle, and every time, and she kept complimenting his hair. That is freaking disgusting. Funny, but disgusting. And, Mal, if you knew that early on, do you think you would have stayed with her? Well, probably. So anyway, guys, there's a good story there. Not a long one compared to these long 37-minute videos I've been doing lately. But that'll be very entertaining for you guys here on a Saturday. And again, as I said this 19 times, and I'll say it for the 20th time, don't put your D in crazy. It's not freaking worth it. Now, we can all joke. They're all mental in some way, in some capacity, but you know what I mean. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let's hear in the comments section some of your experiences with the crazy. I'm sure many of you guys have at least had one girl that you dated or had a girlfriend that was mental, that you knew darn well was a bad idea to get with her, but she was just so wild in bed, which they usually are, and you learned the hard way. Let's hear about it in the comment section. It's happened to me. I've done it, and I learned the hard way. Because remember, guys, the reason I can do this channel is I've done so many of the dumbass things that I tell you guys not to do in my long past. I learned the hard way. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.